being expensive doesn't mean breaking the bank or owning designer branded pieces. It's radiating elegance, confidence, and having classy energy in everything that you do, which then creates an elevated version of yourself who attracts opportunities because your looks are your superpower that impacts the success in your life and how people treat you. Hi lovelies, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm talking about how to look expensive without being rich. When I started looking more refined and classy, doors began opening up for me and opportunities started coming my way without me breaking the bank. I had to reinvent myself from my mindset, grooming, style, how I carried myself and my lifestyle. I'll be hosting the Unlock Your Signature Look workshop where I'll be teaching you your style formula, beauty hierarchy, and how to identify your unique beauty. All the details will be in the description box down below. The first way to look more expensive is to have a skincare routine. I see a lot of women still using filters. First of all, that is so 2012. Secondly, that's saying I'm not confident in my looks, I'm not comfortable in my own skin, or I have a complexion complex. Just because I come on here with makeup, don't think I'm not confident without it. I spend 95% of my time without makeup because I have good skin, so I look and feel good without makeup. Now, I am fortunate that I grew up with good skin, even though I did ruin it when I was experimenting with different skincare products up until I discovered my skin type and I had to recorrect all the damage I had done and only use skincare products that were aligned to my skin type. Having good skin makes you comfortable in your own skin, where you're comfortable from the inside out, where you don't need filters, you don't need exaggerated makeup. Makeup will just be about enhancing the beauty that you already have. It will make you confident in your looks and helps you identify your unique beauty and what sets you apart from the rest. And if you do have a complexion complex, that's deep rooted in some trauma and will probably need some therapy. You have to invest time, energy, and money into your skin. It needs to be a part of who you are, where toning, cleansing, moisturizing just becomes a part of you. Having minimal skin means you only need minimal makeup, which takes us to the next way to look more expensive, which is skin-like makeup. This is something that took me a long time to learn and grow into. I used to do a full beat no matter the occasion. I used to have full coverage foundation. I felt like I needed full thick eyelash extension, and I always had a highlighter on my cheekbones, in my tear ducts, underneath my eyebrows, to the point that I would look drastically different with makeup and without makeup. But when I began my femininity journey, I just grew more in love with the less is more philosophy, and I started leaning into a more natural makeup look. When you have skin like makeup, you look more effortless, you look more refined, and like you haven't put in a lot of effort to do your makeup. And that's what looking expensive is. Effortless chic. The next way to look expensive is to dress modestly. A lot of people associate modesty to women of a certain age, religion, or women without style, and that couldn't be further from the truth. I want you to think of somebody that you might know personally or even on social media who presents as expensive and or wealthy. How do they dress? Do they dress provocatively in revealing pieces, or do they dress modestly? Modesty isn't boring. Modesty actually requires style and feminine creativity. You can still be elegant, classy, chic, stylish, and dress modestly. For example, you could use layering, where you could still wear a revealing piece but still be covered up, or you could bring two pieces together to create shape, like a pair of trousers and a flare skirt. You can wear dresses and skirts that already have a feminine silhouette. You can use accessories like belts and scarves to create a shape. You can use different patterns, materials, and textures to make a modest piece look more creative. But ultimately, being covered up and modest will make you look more refined and classy. The next way to look expensive is using color psychology. The reason why pink is associated with femininity is because when you think of pink, you think softness, calm, fluidity, which is one of the reasons why I'm always wearing a nudie pink. pink on my hands and my toes. So when you see luxury marketing on social media, adverts, billboards, they always use nude colors like black, white, creams and browns, because that gives a feeling of luxury and refinement, which is why you'll always find a lot of wealthy people staying clear from bold colors and sticking to nudes. Neutral colors are more versatile, they're easy to mix and match, and creates a more cohesive, elegant aesthetic. But that's not to say you should only wear neutral colors for you to look expensive. For example, my color season is autumn, so you also find me in mustards, burgundy, greens, because for me that also says regal and expensive. And sometimes I wear pink on days I want to look extra feminine. So it's all about being aware what emotion the colors in your wardrobe are evoking and what brand or aesthetic you want to go for. The next way to look expensive is through tailoring. I have an hourglass figure, so I'm in between sizes, as I like to call it. So when it comes to trousers, for example, I always have to size up. So I always get my trousers tailored on the waist, which then makes them look like they were made for me. Nothing will make you look more cheap than wearing clothes that don't fit you properly. You could have a really lovely outfit or even a really expensive outfit, but if it doesn't fit you properly, you won't look refined, you won't look classy, and you won't look expensive. The next way to look expensive is having well-maintained hair. My hair is a part of my brand. It always has to look flawless. My signature hairstyle is a curly bob. And I'm not here to tell you what hairstyle you should have. There's a lot of misconceptions that if you want to look more expensive, you need long flowy hair, which couldn't be further from the truth. Women come in different colors, shapes and sizes, which means their hair is going to be different. I always say that I'm not the woman who does, I'm the woman who pays. So I personally have a hairstylist who I go to every 2 to 3 weeks, who helps me to achieve polished, healthy and stylish hair. Hair is an integral part of your overall look. You could have the most gorgeous outfit on, but if your hair doesn't look good, it throws the whole outfit off. So having hair that's polished, healthy and stylish will bring the whole look together. So whether you're the woman who does or whether you're the woman who pays, you have to invest time, energy and money to ensure that you have well-maintained hair. The next one to look expensive is doing your finishing touches. Now this is after you finish getting ready, you've left the house. You want to make sure that you look the same throughout the day as you did when you left the house, which means you have to be prepared. You need a comb or hairbrush depending on your hairstyle to make sure that your hair is in place all the time. You need a powder brush to make sure that your face is not getting oily. You need either your lip gloss or lipstick depending on what you're wearing. You need a mirror and regular toilet breaks, even if you don't need to use the loo, but just to check your hair, makeup and look and make sure everything is as it should be. You need a perfume, oil or spray to make sure that you're still smelling delicious and edible. You need a moisturizer because your hands or feet might get dry during the day, and those are just the basics. If you want to be Mary Poppins, there's so much more that you can have in your handbag. Looking expensive is consistent, which means you have to be prepared so you can maintain it throughout the day or night. The next way to look expensive is by having delicate accessories. The idea is it's everyday jewelry that you can wear whether you're going to the grocery store or whether you're going out to dinner. Every classy woman either wears studs, small hoops, 1 to 2 rings and a watch. Now it doesn't have to be the same jewelry, of course. You can have different variations, whether you want to wear silver or gold or mixed metal, whether you want to accessorize with bracelets instead of having a watch, whether it's changing up your ring placement. And it doesn't even have to be expensive. This watch is from Michael Kors, these earrings are Missoma, this ring is from Missoma, and this ring is from Tory Burch. Ultimately, you want to look expensive all the time by encompassing the less is more philosophy in your entire look. So your hair, makeup, clothes, and jewelry. The next way to look expensive is by having high value presence. People can sense insecurities and desperation in other people, and it's really off-putting. The reality is nothing is attractive or magnetic about somebody whose cup is always on empty. When I walk in the room, whether it's a store or a networking event, I command the room without saying anything. People just gravitate towards me. They want to be around me. They want to offer their services because I have receiving energy. That's because I already know the value that I bring to the table, so I conduct myself as much, not just in my appearance, but in my verbal and non-verbal communication. I maintain eye contact. I have good posture. My body language is inviting and warm. I am anchored by my identity from my self-worth, my expertise, my knowledge, my skills, my experience, which is translated in me not trying to prove myself, but in genuinely trying to get to know people on a human level. So for you to look expensive, you can't show up from a place of insecurity. You have to show up from a place of confidence and value. As someone who knows they have something valuable to offer, whether it's your charm, intelligence, beauty, or even just your life experience, having a high value presence instantly exudes expensive. The message here is being expensive is not about having luxury skincare or designer logos in your collection. It's about your energy and radiating elegance and confidence from the inside out. Like this video if you want to see more videos on femininity and abundance. Subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you're notified every single time that I upload a video, and I will see you in the next video. Bye lovelies.